I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball.
Anything notable, good, bad, or otherwise, from your second session?
Second session, we did a bunch of same stuff like yesterday, just trying to get more details, better execution, more speed, and we played quite a bit today. We were going up and down just to get guys a little bit up to speed and get the chemistry playing together. But another great day and a long journey.
Are you trying to pace it out as the days go on here and as like the next few weeks unfolds, as opposed to like hammering everybody with everything all at once?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're very diligent about how much we put at our players, making sure that they can still play to their instincts, and while we at the same time building the chemistry in offense and defense.
Anybody stand out or surprise you in those scrimmages?
I think it was really good. Our starting unit today did a really good job, and every time we were mixing up teams, but those guys, when they played together, they had great chemistry. They moved the ball well. They were finding open shots. They did a really good job today.
Do you want to tell us who that starting unit was?
No, I'm not.
I had to try.
You got to try.
Darko, what do you envision the roles of Precious and Chris? Will they change with Christian not being available?
To be honest with you, I see a lot from those guys, just versatility they're bringing to the team. Precious is the player that we're using him, some at position 5, some at position 4. We play a lot through him, throwing the ball to the elbow. He's making great plays there, connecting with teammates. And in 2 days of training camp, he did a great job of finding open people and playing the right way.
And Chris is a veteran guy, been around the league a long time. How much do you lean on him to fill in as a center or even as a 4?
Both positions. We expect him to be in both positions. He can guard 4s, he can guard 5s. He's really good as a rim protector at both that position with the second unit, so we're going to lean on him quite a bit.
Darko, when you were studying to interview for this job, I presume you spent a lot of time looking at Scottie and things like that. What jumped out to you, and how do you think you can, some of those things that you saw, you can use?
It stood out to me. He's amazing talent. Like, he can do so many things. He can play pick and rolls. He can set screens in pick and rolls. He's really good in open court, in transition. His size is allowing him to see the court really well and to find open people, and just his unselfishness to try to make the right play every single time down the court.
And when you talked on Monday about using him more and putting the ball more in his hands, is that just compared to what he did in his first 2 years, or is that maybe even within the group? Like, do you see him as thing?
It's within the group. I think him when he rebounds the ball defensively, and he's a good defensive rebounder, we expect him to bring the ball up the floor. We're going to run plays to him so he can get any actions. Is that off-ball screens? Is that DHOs or pick and rolls? But we're going to try to put the ball in his hands as much as possible for him to play make.
At the end of last season, he talked about the need to improve his conditioning in order to make it through an 82-game season playing the way that he wants to play. It sounds like he really focused on that this summer. Says he's feeling good. Is that something, conditioning-wise, that you've noticed early in camp, that he's at a high level in that regard?
He's definitely in good shape, and for all those young guys, when they come in the league, they think that 82 games is, they don't know until they go through it. And the only way to learn through that is to go through 82 games and to fail and to see your ups and downs, learn from that so you can address those things during the summer. And I thought that he did a really good job this summer with that.
How important, you mentioned failure, whether it's individual or team, you would have dealt as an assistant coach with so many young players probably dealing with more failure than they've ever dealt with in basketball. How important is it to get through that and to go through it?
It's very, very important. There is no other way to learn. Like, the only way all of us, when everything is going right in our lives, we tend to relax. Our brain is wired that way. But once we're going through rough times and failing, that's really motivates us to find our answers and ways to get out. And that applies for everybody, players, coaches, everybody who's working any job seriously. You gotta fail in order to learn and get better.
Scottie was saying on Monday that last year was a bit energy draining. Has Has he confided about that in you? And what can you do, whether the wins come? What can you do to make sure it's a joyful sort of space?
We did not talk about that, but generally my approach is to bring a lot of positive energy, and I expect same thing from coaching staff and the same thing from players. I just think that 82 games is a beast, and we cannot be emotional reacting or overreacting to win or a loss. We gotta stay even keel and as much as possible to focus on the next thing.
Coach, can you tell me about Jama's integration into your staff and why you wanted him on your staff in the first place?
His reputation around the league, he's an amazing human being, he's great with the organization, he's helping me to take off of my plate a lot of stuff regarding practice planning, whatever it might be, organizational stuff. He's really good with that, and also he's extremely bright offensive mind. He's going to be our offensive coordinator, and I'm going to rely on him quite a bit.
Coach, you talked about a win-the-day mentality yesterday. You also said a next play mentality. How do you implement this in action when you're coaching in these training camps and practices?
That's a great question, and we cannot control what's going to happen 2 weeks down the road. All we have is this day today, and how do we maximize this day? Is our preparation to come ready for the practice. It's our attention to detail. It's competing on the highest level. It's whatever it's at the hand of that day. We cannot worry about tomorrow or worry about yesterday or last season. We gotta live in this present moment.
Is there an accountability factor to that when maybe guys aren't prepared or they're not? You feel like they have more?
Of course, that's part of that. Like, my job is to push those guys, but also I expect accountability from them as well. I told guys yesterday in the practice, I messed up something. I cut the drill earlier than I was supposed to do, and I told guys, like, keep me accountable for that as well. It's a two-way street.
A lot of times, just talking about Scottie again, a guy who's going to be a primary ball handler, typically they're either like really good shooters or they get to the rim really quickly, easily. Scottie's kind of a little bit in between like that. I mean, he's not historically been a really good shooter. He's not super explosive off the bounce, but he gets it done. So I'm just saying, in this context you're using him, how do you kind of work on his strengths? How do you make what he is good at stand out?
It's going to be a combination of all of that. He needs to continue to improving his shot and working on his shot. I want him to take more open shots and to shoot it with confidence. He's doing a great job in the gym every single day with assistant coaches working on his floor. It's just a question of confidence and taking those in the game as well. And then if he's not taking a shot, he needs to be playing to the role of our team, to the standard of our team, which is making quick decisions and finding open men. He's really, really good in open court, and we want to see him in open court as much as possible.
What kind of potential do you see, just even at his stage of development now, as to what he could become?
It's a step in the process. I always, when I look at the players, I just don't look at the time where they at right now. I look where they can be down the road. And my vision of Scottie or PASCAL or Jakob is everything like how we can improve those guys and continue getting those guys to the peak at their performance.
What do you see in him? Where could he go?
I think Scottie is an all-star type of player. I think he's the guy that can do so many things. I already talked about it. He should be the guy 2-3 years down the road that teams are really having a headache when they are preparing scouting, and they have multiple coverages on him, because if you switch, he's going to punish you. If you don't switch, he's going to punish you with good decision making. If you give him room, he's going to knock down the shot. If you close out too close, he's going to go by you. So we're trying to make a complete player off of him.